Hello everybody, it's Brian for GadgetUnit.com, and in this video I'll be talking to you a little bit about the Lumia 640 that I've been using exclusively for the past couple of weeks. I'll also be showing you all of the apps that I have installed and how they're laid out. So for the past couple of weeks I've been working on a 30-day switch from the iPhone 6 Plus just to see what it's like, and because Ask Des on Twitter sort of challenged me to do this after we got into a little argument about Microsoft's support of Windows Phone in the US. But anyway, over the past couple of weeks, it really hasn't been that hard at all because I'm not really that advanced of an iPhone user. I don't do too many crazy things on it. So pretty much everything I did on the iPhone, which has literally been sitting behind my computer monitor collecting dust for the past 2 weeks, and it's been doing nothing else, it's really not that hard. I primarily use Twitter, email, and nothing really too much crazier than that. I might watch some live streaming videos, but really nothing else. Let me go ahead and unlock the Lumia 640. One thing I love about the 640 is that your lock screen wallpaper changes every day based on Bing.com's wallpaper of the day. So they have tons of really nice ones that seem to be showing up daily. So really wish iPhone had something like this. I also like how you can double tap the display to turn it on. That's super convenient. So as I was saying, the switch over from iPhone really isn't that hard because pretty much every app I had on my iPhone, they also have for Windows Phone, or at least an alternative that comes pretty close to what you're going to have. So for example, on iPhone I had the actual official TV Guide mobile app, but on this one I have this TV Guide app here. And it seems to work fine for what I use it for. I don't get into the TV Guide too often, but this one does what I want it to do. I like how it actually has live labels for certain things. So if we go down into the sports channels, you'll see some live labels for some of these right there. There are a few apps that I wish Windows Phone had, such as the Time Warner Cable TV app, which allows me to schedule DVR recordings and change a channel without actually using the physical remote. I can just use the app as a remote control. But I can use the Sling Player app because that is able to do pretty much the same things. Again, for the past couple of weeks, I have been using the Lumia 640 just how I would be using my iPhone 6 Plus on a day-to-day basis. There are some annoyances with Windows Phone 10, particularly build 10586. For example, autocorrect is pretty bad, and I have been having issues with voice over LTE calls. This particular unit is actually not a retail shipping unit, so there may be some issues there. Wi-Fi calling also doesn't appear to work. Oh, by the way, this is actually the blue model. When T-Mobile used to sell this, it was actually the white one, which I do prefer because I think white is just a better color that suits more situations than blue. So the black case does help cover that up a bit. I have reviewed the Lumia 640 before, and I gave it really high marks for being a really great device to use, especially if you're on a budget. For $100, back when T-Mobile was selling it, it's a great device. The camera isn't too bad. You can't really expect too much from a $100 smartphone, but it really does work well. The OS is still fun to use. If there's something you want to do, you should be able to find an app in the Windows Phone store that, for the most part, lets you do what you want to do. Battery life has also been fine. I can come home at the end of the day and still have between 20 and 40% left, depending on how much I used it during the day, which is about what I would expect on my iPhone 6 Plus. 2 weeks down, 2 weeks to go. I really don't foresee the remaining 2 weeks being issues whatsoever. So now I guess I'll go ahead and give you a quick tour of the device before my camera's battery die. So we do have a 5-inch 720p display, so it's 720 by 1280. I am using this really cheap S-style case for the 640. It does have a textured side, so it does allow for a pretty good amount of grip, and it was really cheap. So let's go ahead and turn it back on, and let me go ahead and unlock it again. So this is my... Thanks for that. It's already on the TV. I hope we're going to have one more after this as well. Of course, I hit the snooze buttons instead of the dismiss buttons, so it's going to come back again in 5 minutes. So before I go over this, let me just go over every app that I have installed. Here we have the vertically scrolling app list. So of course I do have the Amazon app, the Buddy TV Guide app, which I showed you briefly earlier, Crossy Road, eBay, Facebook, File Explorer actually came with Windows Phone 10, Flight Control, FM Radio, Fun Run 2, Instagram. The only thing that this app doesn't have are videos, but it can play back them. You just can't upload Instagram videos. T-Mobile My Account, NASCAR Mobile, Opera Mini, PayPal, Runtastic Me, Shazam, Sling Player Slotomania, Speed Test, which isn't very accurate at all on Windows Phone, Spotify, which I wish had crossfade media playback and offline storage, Swarm, TeamViewer, Telescope, which is the only Periscope app for Windows Phone that at least plays back the live streams. You can't broadcast from it or do too much other than watching them. The Game of Life, TuneIn Radio, Tweetium, Twitter, Upward, and that's it as far as third-party apps go. Tweetium is the Twitter app that I use on Windows Phone only because it supports Tweet Marker, which I really like to have because I use multiple types of devices. They have different Twitter clients, and being able to sync the timeline positions on each of those is great. This is the only app I found for Windows Phone that supports Tweet Marker. And I do apologize if the video on the camera, or excuse me, the camera's video quality isn't that great today. I'm using indoor lighting, so you'll just have to bear with it for this particular video. One thing I would like to say is that Outlook Mail, it's not a bad mail app at all. It works fine with all three of my email accounts. The calendar app works with the 2 calendar accounts that I use perfectly fine. In terms of my layout, I have the phone app up in the top left. I have the Outlook Mail app in the middle. And then on the right side, I have the Outlook Calendar app. Below the phone, I have the text messaging app. In this little group of apps, I have Microsoft Edge, the Settings app, Photos, and the stock camera app. And then to the right of those, I have the Store app. Here is Spotify. Here we have the stock weather app. And here I have all of the other stock apps. So Alarm, Calculator, I think that's the customer support app, Cortana File Explorer, FM radio, Groove Music, Maps, Movies and TV, OneDrive, OneNote, People, Skype video, storage, voice recorder, wallet, which doesn't let you add credit cards, so the NFC payment system in this is pretty pointless right now. I think that this one is, I don't know, let's open it up and see. Another type of support app, I imagine. It's taking its time to open, so I may just ditch this, and actually I'll figure out what it, oh yeah, at the top it just said something. One of the feedback apps. Windows Feedback was the name of that one. And then the last one is in that folder is the Xbox app. In my games folder, I have Crossy Road, Flight Control, Fun Run 2, The Game of Life, Slotomania, the Steam, it's a Steam chat app. Of course, Steam's developers are too lazy to make a Windows Phone app. Then we have a nice little game called Upward. In my social folder, I have Facebook, Instagram, the Periscope app that I forgot the name of, Skype, Swarm, Twitter, and Tweetium. We'll go over to others. I have Amazon, the TV Guide app, eBay, T-Mobile My Account, NASCAR Mobile, Opera, PayPal, Runtastic Me, Share, Explorer, I think is what it's called. It's just a network file share, SMB or Samba Explorer. Shazam, Sling Player, Speed Test, TeamViewer, and TuneIn Radio. I think I might actually uninstall the Speed Test app because for test, I usually just go into the web browser and go to testmy.net. I actually have a bookmark that automatically does 25 megabyte speed tests as soon as I tap on that bookmark. So I have 2 more weeks to go with this. As I said earlier, I don't think there'll be any issues because for the first 2 weeks, I haven't had any issues there. Just wish I didn't have voice over LTE call issues, so I have to fall back to HSBA until a Windows Phone 10 update comes out. But otherwise, I've really been enjoying Windows Phone 10. It's definitely a step in the right direction compared to Windows Phone 8.1. I think in terms of the features department, they have just a few more things to add, and I think they'll be ready. It's just a matter of getting more developer support. I just don't know why they aren't making their apps. Like I said in other videos, without developer support bringing their apps to the platform, people aren't going to switch unless their favorite apps are available. So until the developers take the first step, not Microsoft, this isn't really going to improve. So that is it with this video. If anybody has any comments, questions, or feedback about this or anything else, feel free to leave everything down below in the comments area. But that's it with this video. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll talk to you all very soon.